Hello and welcome. My name's Campbell and this is Spiral Up, and what a world we find ourselves in. I've said that so many times over the last, 20 months now. And of course, wherever you are, I'm sure you've heard about what's going on in Melbourne at the moment. And that's obviously in Australia where I am, and I do have friends living in the city of Melbourne at the moment, witnessing exactly what's going on. And so I thought we'd have a bit of a chat about that and everything else that is happening in this crazy world. And most of all, where we should be putting our attention and how we get through this and end up in the place that we all want to be. So let's jump into it. All right, so now I'm going to start, talking about Melbourne, but do not focus on the bad. This is the trick. This is their only power is media, right? Which is Medea. They get the word media from Medea, Medea, who was the goddess of illusion. So this is what the media is, and we know this. And the media is not just the news; it's the advertising, it's the radio, it's billboards and things. I just saw a video of someone in a train in New York, and they were ripping down all the advertising because it wasn't related to that, but it was just all basically explicit stuff aimed at children, and this is what another thing that's happening. We've seen this, but what we're seeing now is the pushback. So I don't want to get too much into it. We know what's going on, right? We know about all the, the fat old men in wigs talking, reading obscene books to children. We know about all the people running down the street, pointing at the world saying, you must change to make my life better. But what's happening is we've now hit a point where there's enough people, and people, I've seen quite a few videos, and people, a lot of people are saying this, and they're all giving, different percentages, and we've hit this, but whatever the percentage is, we've hit the critical point, is what's happened, of people who are awake and can see what's going on. And so this is going to start to go quickly. We're going to start to roller coaster. So there's already countries that have shut down and rejected everything to do with this whole health mandate. There's several countries. There's Denmark. There is, who did I see yesterday? I think it was Slovenia, maybe not, somewhere in that region. There's a couple of countries. But basically, in the Western world, we are the most media obsessed people. We're the most brainwashed, because in the West, everyone has, what they call a smartphone, which doesn't make you smart. And they all have a smart TV, which is really called the idiot box. They just change the name, right? Change the names to protect the guilty. So this is where we are. And in Melbourne, it's quite insane. Yesterday was the 23rd of September. And in Melbourne, it was the third day that people gathered. And basically the government, Mr. Tribe Dan Andrews, he basically put a media block everywhere. They blocked everything from Facebook. They blocked all live streaming. So basically, complete communism. They have stopped anyone. They have stopped the press, the public, and the press is the public. The press is not a corporation that claims to be, telling you the truth. Like all these channels, right? That's not the press. They can be a part of the press, but the press is anyone. The public who's out there trying to get the truth out and let people know what's going on. That was blocked. That is illegal in every court of law, every international court. I mean, they've gone way beyond war crimes at the moment. I mean, you've all seen the footage. They opened fire on innocent civilians. So, you know, I don't want to get into to that too much, and to the whole, you know, who are these police people? You know, what is going on? But I can, if you want me to leave a message, you know, we can definitely do some deeper dives. Just depending on the content, I may have to, you know, to put them on Odyssey and BitChute, different platforms. But we can do lives and swap them over, which is something that I need to, you know, we all need to start to do as well, is to support the platforms that support free speech. And of course, YouTube does not do that, but most people are still on YouTube. So I'm going to start to, move people off YouTube if possible. So what do we do? Right, the world is waking up. The world is, everyone's seeing what's going on in Melbourne, Australia, which 2 years ago we all thought was one of the freest cities in the world, and it was if you went there. And now it's literally, I mean, I wouldn't say the worst city, because there's definitely cities where, you know, armed soldiers go around and actually shoot people and kill them. That hasn't happened yet. They're using rubber bullets, but you know, it's not that far away. You know, if someone's willing to pick up a gun and point it at someone and pull the trigger, well, you know, the only difference is what's coming out the end, right? So, you know, this is red alert and everyone sees it. And good on Melbourne, because everyone's on the street again. You know, what they did, the government tried to shut them down, and the people went out, and today they're having an even bigger gathering. So this is what we've just got to keep standing up, pushing back, because at this point, we're very close. That, you know, the people that can see what's going on, the awake people, we're just going to take over, and the other people will fall. There's so many, you know, court cases going, international tribunals, but unless you look into it, you're not going to hear this stuff. There is a lot going on. Believe me, there's so much. So many different legal people, legal teams, firms. There's, you know, like I said, tribunals, and there's all these, you know, international courts, you know, that basically that overrule everything. They can come into countries and take the government out for breaking international law, which is happening in every single state of Australia. And I'm in Perth, Western Australia. We've only had 2 lockdowns, and a lot of people think that our Premier is the good guy, but he's not. He belongs in jail, because he has closed the borders. He has stopped people trading. He has put people out of work. Okay, so he's gone along with this myth of this thing, you know, the magical mystery bug. It does not exist. Does not exist. The only people, you know, we know, the only people getting injured are the ones accepting Bill's prick into their life. So, bit of a rant now, but you know, this is kind of the point. We can't focus on the bad guys. We have to create the new world. And we do this with our minds and our imagination and our feeling. The language of source, God, is emotion. It's feeling. That's what it is. That's I mean, it's the strongest language. You know, we can also put out just thoughts and intentions and words, but the strongest is when you feel something. When you can sit there and feel like you are already in the place you want to be, you're already experiencing the things you want to experience, that's when manifestation happens quickly. And at the moment where we are, energy-wise, manifestations are happening quicker and quicker every day. I don't know if you've noticed this, but if you haven't, give it a go. Before you in bed every night, before you go to sleep, visualize and feel what you want. Be there, because this is the whole trick. They are flooding our senses with their point of view. You know, right? We know who they are. They're flooding our senses in every direction. It's on the news, it's on the radio, it's on posters, it's on billboards, it's on social media, it's everywhere. And the thing is with, you know, social media and you know, people who are creating content, and there's so many people that claim to be, you know, these, you know, what, spiritual kind of people, you know, claim to be awake and claim to sort of know and to trying to give guidance to people, but they just focus on the bad. They just focus on, look what bad's happening, look what bad's happening. That is, you know, whether they know it or not, they're working for the dark side, because they're getting people to focus on the problem is the problem. It's that simple. That's all out there. What we need to do is remove ourselves. We need to become, you know, we need to build up our inner strength. It's like we need to be in this world, but not of this world. So you can walk around and you can look, and you're not, you know, you're not involved with all the comings and goings and all this stuff that's going on, and all the rah 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 and all the group, you know, thought, the group think tank, that whole perception. You're above it, and you can just sit and look and not get involved. That's the point to be at. So to get there is really just meditation, guys. It's self-reflection. It's quiet time. Go sit next to a tree, under a tree with your back against the trunk, and meditate. Get in nature, you know, heal your soul, right? Walk barefoot on the earth. You know, it says we are made of clay, right? The earth, Gaia, it's alive, it's energy. And you know, that's a whole nother sort of side of this, is it is energy. This is an energy system. And when we walk on the ground, we ground ourselves. We complete the circuit. So that's an important thing. You know, there's so many things. Sun gazing, of course, diet, water. We need to get to this place where we're above being controlled. Because the thing is, you can only be controlled if you're in a certain mindset, and that mindset is a frequency. That's where they want to keep people. That's why they're pumping this stuff out. So we all know what's going on, but we need to get to the point where we see, you know, the bad that's happening, and it's happening, and it's going to keep happening for a little while, but we're very close, guys. We need to rise above that, okay, and not get annoyed and not yell. It's more like we need to understand that this is a process. It's a process of awakening, and that awakening means that we're going to see things. We're being shown things, okay. Everything is being exacerbated, right? It's all being made bigger so that we can see it, so that people who normally wouldn't see it can see it. Okay, the police and the government were always corrupt. They were always corrupt. But now you can't avoid that fact, okay? It's in our face. And this is why, you know, tomorrow it's going to be more, and the next day it's going to be more, because there's still people who can't see it. Okay, and so until they can, it's going to get more and more. But that's for them. That's not for us. We've gone through that. We're above it. That's just for people who need to still wake up. So we need to know what's going on, but it's just information, guys. We need to look at solutions, right? We need to be the ones that are paving the way forward, making the road, walking the talk, step in trust, and creating the world we want to be, to be the leaders, you know, to give people hope and assurance, and to let them know they have everything that they need and everything is working out right. Because there's always two sides to a story, right? Polarity, negative, positive, dark, white, all this kind of stuff. And this is a trick, of course. They're only trying to let us see the dark, but there's so much light going on. If it's out there, guys, if you search for it. And this is something I need to work on. Websites and everything will be coming up soon. I just need to get some writing done, and I can start linking all this kind of stuff that is harder to find. But believe me, there's so much good going on. There's so much good going on. You know, the light workers are out there, and you guys are the light workers if you want to be. And that's another point. You know, there's all these people that are coming out and they're talking about light workers. I'm a light worker. You know, the Rainbow Children, Rainbow Warriors, 144,000, all these things. You know, people who are the press, you know, out there doing live streams, right, and showing us what's going on. How are these people there? You know, how do you become a light worker? How do you become the press? You just do it. That's it. If you believe that you're a light worker, if you feel that and you feel that you have something to say, then you just do it. And that's how you become it. You just become it. You just do it. It's just that simple. It's like the guy, Real Rushcan on Facebook. He's been live streaming everything in Melbourne for like the last year. And now he's been interviewed on CNN in America. He's suddenly all over the media. Now no one came up to him and said, "Hey, you're now the press." He didn't go and study. He hasn't got any degrees. He hasn't got it. He just has a phone. He was there. He saw what was going on, and he decided that he needed to do something, and he did. So he chose to become the press. So he is now the press. And this is the point. Whatever you choose to be, you are. As long as you walk the talk, as long as you step into that truth. There's way too much of this, I'm so spiritual, or I'm so this, I'm so that, but no action, right? All talk, no action. That is when you talk and you proclaim things and you put it into the ether and you don't take action on that, you are programming yourself to not take action. So don't do that. If you say you're going to do something, do it. If you know you're not going to do it, don't say you're going to do it. We need to be truthful with ourselves and stop doing things because we think other people will be impressed, or that we think, we need to or we should for other people. Because if you're thinking you know what other people think, you're wrong. You're always going to be wrong. It's because, do other people know what you think? Of course they don't. So everything's easy, guys. It's easy. It's not hard. It's only hard because the system has implanted a program that tells you it's hard. And again, there's a saying, right? If you believe you can, you can. If you believe you can't, you can't. And it's so true. And that's it, guys. That is the secret. That's the secret. This book, right, that was released 20 years ago, I think, The Secret, right, all about manifesting. And what did it say? It was pretty much just thinking. That's all it was really talking about. It didn't really even mention emotion. It was just the secret is just that what you think you create. Okay, that was the secret, and that is true to a point. It's not all the truth. It's not the whole picture. What you think is coming from your self-image. Okay, so everything you think and say and do, and that it's all a representation, or what's the word? An expression of your self-image. And your self-image is built up by all your thoughts and all the programs of who you think you are now. But that's all in your subconscious. It's not in your conscious. That's in your subconscious. That runs as a program, and you don't always see it. Most people never see it. So that's the program. It runs, and it basically dictates your life. So we need to change the program. Just thinking something different isn't going to change the program. It's like, if you have a sore and you put a Band-Aid on it and it's not healed the next day, so you go, well, let's try a different Band-Aid. You need to get to the core problem, right? You need to change who you think you are. Change your self-image, because that's it. Who you think you are subconsciously is who you are. That dictates what you will, the actions you will take. So the secret is to feel it. Okay, definitely always think good thoughts, but when you start to feel things and put yourself in your mind in situations that are as real as your waking state, that's when things change really quickly. You see, if you can, because your mind does not know the difference. It doesn't know the difference between the reality that you see with your eyes and the reality that you see with your inner eye. It doesn't know the difference. And so the better you get at visualizing and adding the emotion, the sound, the wind on your face, the heat from the sun, the joy, the feelings, the more that you can get that into it, the more real effect it has on your self-image, because that is, as far as your mind is concerned, you've just done whatever you've imagined. So if you're shy and you want to be more outgoing, and you imagine in your mind yourself going up and talking to people and enjoying it and having fun and meeting new interesting people and really experiencing that, then that will change your self-image, and you will just find yourself talking to people. It's not going to be it's not going to be a thing where you have to sit there and like, oh, it's all so scary, I'm going to go it'll just happen, because you've changed who you are. You've changed who you think you are, right? So who you think you are matters, and I'm not talking about the conscious, it's the subconscious. That's where the programs are held and where they run, and that's really where we need to change, right? We need to change. Again, it's like the medicine, that they're always affecting the symptoms instead of the cause. So we need to change the cause, which is our self-image, and we do that most effectively by, like I said, playing over movies in our mind, making them as real as we can, and they have to be the movies of what we want, of who we want to be, done in the now, as if they are happening and you are experiencing them right now. And when you can do that, if you can do that, once a day, if you can do that 2 or 3 times a day, your life will change extremely quickly. But of course, it's a skill. You need to build it. You need to learn how to do it. You need to get there, make the colors as vivid as you can. Touch things, touch people, and feel it with your hands. Feel, like I said, the wind on your face, the heat on your face from the sun, the cold, whatever it is, the feelings inside. Feel all that and be there, whatever it is. It might just be you, gardening in a off-grid house. Just be there and live it, and that will change your self-image. And it's also a huge message to the field, the source field. And of course, what we give out, we get back. And this is how we change the world. And focusing on what's going on in the bad is not going to get us anywhere. It's only going to get us more of the bad, clearly, because that's what you're telling the universe you want. So, know what's going on. Okay, but don't spend all your time focusing on it. If you see something bad, what I do is I switch instantly to, what's the solution? How do I make things better? And depending on where you are and what your skills are, that'll be different things. It may even just be, I can't focus on this. I'm going to go and work in the garden. I'm going to take the dog for a walk. I'm going to go and play with my kids, whatever. Put your energy into something better, and that will create something better, because we are on the precipice, guys. We are there. I feel like we're on the top of literally we're about to hit the top of a roller coaster, right? Hill, and then it's going to go, woohoo, pretty quick. We're going to see things a lot happen in the next 3 months before December the 21st, which of course is the solstice. We've just had the equinox and a full moon, Melbourne, the earthquake. Guys, stuff is going down, and we are the creators. We are the creators. We are the creative force. The parasites are not. They cannot create. They cannot create anything. They can just take what we create and change it and invert it. And we know what they do. They make everything that we create, they make it synthetic. They take nature out of it. They take God out of it. That's what they want. They want a godless world because they want to be the gods. Okay, and of course they've got to make everyone believe that there is no God to do that. And this is failing, though. It's failing quick. So you are a creator. That's what you do. That's what you are. So create what you want. Influence people to be better. Do what you can. Speak to the universe with the intention of what you want, and then see it in your mind and live it and be it. And take the steps in action to create it. All right? Nothing happens without action. And, the greatest journey always begins with the first step. So there you go, a bit of a longer one. I think I've been rambling a bit, but I just really wanted to get that message through that, focus, guys. Focus on what you want. There's so much going on, but you have the choice. Your superpower is your focus. This is a game of attention. Okay, a fight for your attention. They want your attention. That's what's going on. So use your superpower, build it, develop it, and change the world. Let's all do it together, because we can, because you are amazing and you have greatness inside of you, and the world really needs you to pull it out right now and put it into the field. And let's go forward and create the new earth together. All right. Thank you for listening, guys. Love you all, and I'll talk to you all on the next upload. Bye for now. Because